Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today as we are sitting here talking about Triple H versus The Undertaker at the Super Showdown. Honestly, when this match was first announced quite a few months ago when they were announcing the Super Showdown show in Australia, I was thinking that this was going to be just a flash in the pan, nothing house show once again, much like the world's greatest Royal Rumble. And nothing was really going to happen. You were going to see Triple H and The Undertaker make their entrances down to the ring. They were going to, just sort of stall it out, do a couple of spots. Triple H would take the tombstone, and The Undertaker would get the win. And, you would sort of save himself for whatever comes next, whether it's another big show or a Madison Square Garden show, just sort of a big payday, just making sure that he's still going to be there. Now, it looks like they're really starting to put the gas behind The Undertaker. To me, I believe it was at WrestleMania 25. It might have been WrestleMania 26. It was definitely after about 2010. You could tell that they were really putting the brakes on The Undertaker character, that, he was not going to be around as much as he was. Sometimes he only showed up for WrestleMania. Sometimes I think that was just about it most of the time. Most of the time he just did WrestleMania, and that was it. But we've seen, in 2015, I believe, is when he came back and he actually worked SummerSlam. Then he worked Survivor Series. He worked Hell in a Cell. He had a pretty big schedule. And the reasoning behind that, I thought, was that Undertaker was really getting ready to say goodbye. He was going to push his body to the limit and, get all the shows in that he could get. And then basically call it a day, right off into the sunset, making those big paydays, and wave his hat in the air one more time and say thank you very much. To me, we've already seen the Undertaker retirement match, the match against Roman Reigns when he left his stuff in the middle of the ring, and they keep dragging him back out there for this, that, and the other. On one hand, you can't blame WWE because Undertaker is one of the biggest stars that they've ever had. He's, basically Vince's creation. He, started in 1990. He never left for WCW. He was their guy. Everything that involves the Undertaker storyline involves Vince McMahon, because him and his creative staff, as well as, like Pat Patterson, coming up with finishes, Paul Bear, being there helping out his promos and things like that, that's 100% WWE. So you got to understand. At the Super Showdown, Triple H versus Undertaker, it looks like this is going to have a real storyline. That they've been bringing the Undertaker to Monday Night Raw twice. They've brought Shawn Michaels there. Triple H has actually come out from behind the camera to actually be a part of what's going on TV. A lot of times Triple H sort of disappears throughout the whole Monday Night Football schedule because that's when the ratings go down, and you don't want to be that guy on TV. You want to be that guy that comes back once football's done, and you know that the guys are going to start watching wrestling again because you're in that Royal Rumble to WrestleMania thing, and then you can point at me like, hey, look at me. I'm the reason why the ratings are up, because I wasn't there, and now I'm here, and they must be watching me. That's a Hulk Hogan trick. Everybody knows that from WCW. It looks like this whole thing is going to revolve around Shawn Michaels. Basically it's Undertaker versus Triple H, but Shawn Michaels is the outside guy that the storyline is going to be all about. When Shawn Michaels came out to do his promo, to make his pick, to see who he thought was going to win, he picked Triple H, and immediately from out of the back came the Undertaker from the gates of hell. Once Undertaker came down to the ring, there was the face-to-face when it wasn't about Triple H anymore. It was about Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Is Shawn going to come out of retirement? And even at that point, I was like, hell no, there's no way in the world. It wasn't until basically, Shawn Michaels is going to be in Triple H's corner, and Kane now is going to be in Undertaker's corner. And I think what this is leading to is that the next big overseas, I guess you can call it pay-per-view or network special, the crown jewel, I think that's where we're going to see Shawn come back, and Shawn's going to wrestle. So, in my opinion, I think that Kane is coming to sort of cause some sort of outside interference with Shawn to draw them into the match. I wouldn't be surprised if it leads to Triple H taking the loss, and you actually see DX call out Kane and Undertaker, the Brothers of Destruction, and say, hey, let's do this one more time, but everybody's legal. Tag team match, 2-on-2. Let's see who's got the better duo, and see what happens. And we all got a reason to watch the next Saudi Arabia show. Peace out, everybody. Let me know what you think.